This is James. Thanks for watching Workspace. What we're going to do today is look at an office, flex, or retail space. This client that we're working with is looking for 2,000 to 5,000 square feet of space. They have an insurance office and they want to basically relocate from an office space into something they own. So they want 2,000 to 5,000 square feet with 3 offices, a break room, a large meeting area. And one thing that's specific about this property is they need a lot of parking space because they have group meetings. So the parameters, thankfully, are pretty wide. So we're looking at West Houston, and I'm going to draw the boundaries right now. Okay, so based on my client's parameters, they want something that is close in town as inside the loop, but then they want to follow 59 to the Beltway and then jump up here all the way to Highway 6. So like I said, it's a pretty wide area, and 290 is also an option as well. So that's our zone. So let's take a look at what we have here. Okay, so first we're going to do a quick rundown on all the properties here. There are about 30 properties that fit our very broad parameters here. We're looking at things that are less than $700,000 that fit the size range between 2,000 and 5,000 square feet. Now we can't get into the layout or the number of offices or that stuff that I'm going to have to find out by calling these guys and talking to them later. But let's take a look at what we have here. So if we start from the top, you know, an office condo for $335, that doesn't really fit the parameters. Medical office space, that could work at 3,000 square feet if it's not occupied, and we just need to take a closer look at that. This one could also work, but there's no photos, so I'll have to dig into that later. The office building, that's a home that's basically been used as an office building. This is also a good possibility. Ridge Park could work. See, the office medical space here could work. As we go down, industrial, no, that's not going to work here for what we're looking for. 8306 is a possibility as well, with 2 stories if the parking is good here. I'm actually really excited about this church that can be converted because they're going to have a ton of parking, and that's something that's very important for my client here. So we're going to dig into that as well. And as we scroll down here, most of these would not work. Yeah, I mean, these other ones are not going to work because they're mainly office condos. There's 1 or 2 freestanding buildings that I've already selected without having you guys go through the pain of me taking that time. So let's go ahead and look at the ones that made the cut so far. So this is the office on Kirkwood between Bel Air and A-Leaf. And as you can see here, I mean, the curb appeal is not great, but it's 3,000 square feet office space. The price is a little bit higher than what we would like to pay, but it has gated. The fact that it's fenced in is a big plus. They have a lot of parking spaces here as well, and that's great. So you can easily fit 30 cars here, which is something that's important for my client. So that's one that we should take a look at. Now this is a really nice home that's built out with a large open area. The problem with homes though is there's usually, they look nice but they're not functional enough. I mean, I'm going to put this on the list, but for an office use, I mean, there's just too much common area, and it's just really difficult to compartmentalize things off. People that like homes, I mean, if it works, that's great, it's perfect, but it has to fit the flow, and I'd have to see the floor plan first, but it's something that's just there on the list. Now 15420 Ridge Park, price is right at $520, size is great at 2,600 square feet of space. This looks like it may be an office condo. The layout looks pretty standard. It's got a break room, and that's a big plus. Let's see, and this is on Highway 6. Okay, so this is a little bit north of what's prime for us, which is on I-10. So, but it's on Highway 6, which is a big plus. Definitely something that we should take a look at, mainly because of the price, the square footage, and it looks like it's going to be vacant too, so definitely worth a look. Now here's the office medical building. This looks like it may be near an office park. Yeah. The problem with properties in an office park is parking is usually really tight. Now I do love the fact it has a big open area here to meet. The inside looks really nice. and it's a new construction built in 2006. The lot size is a little bit small. This would be really nice. The only problem potentially could be the parking here. So let's look at the location. Again, this is north. This is north of what's prime for us, which is right here on I-10. But again, if you're hitting Highway 6, you're going to be right there. So it's something that it's still within the boundaries that were specified. So we should take a look at it. This property here, the curb appeal is just not there. I mean, I'm not feeling it. Yeah, I mean, this is a house, and it doesn't look like a house that's outfitted for office use at all. That's not something I think we should take a look at. So we're going to pass on this. You know, 8306 Bob White. The price is right at $400,000. The size is great at 2,350 square feet. The parking may be a little tight here, but this is more along the lines of what you would see with a office / home use. Now, one thing that's going to be a problem here is it's a retail use. There may be too much that we have to do to convert this to the type of space that my client wants. You know, he's going to want something he can, especially for $400,000. There are other options available that we can get that are a little bit closer without spending an additional $80,000 to $90,000 to get this to work out the way we want it to. So that's something we'll probably have to pass on. Now, the church, curb appeal is not that great. The price is going to be more attractive here at $350,000. Now, large open space, not a problem. Ton of open space here. Now, this is something that, because of the price point, let's take a look at the location. It's not necessarily a bad thing to go ahead and fit, and the location is much closer to what's prime. This is our sweet spot here, but they're right inside the Beltway, which is not a bad thing at all. I mean, you're just a few minutes from the Beltway 8 or I-10, and with a little bit of TLC, a different coat of paint out here, what I like about the property is the amount of just functional space that you have, you know. But we'd have to check out the area and see what that's like and if that's going to work for the business. But definitely something that's worth a closer look. 4731 Ingersoll. Let's see what this is talking about. We have to get more details here. This price point is a little bit higher than what's optimal for us, but at 2,235 square feet, it could work. The fact that I don't see any other pictures here, we're just going to have to call and see. Now, this warehouse office space here, this is something else that could potentially work. One problem with industrial spaces is usually the lack of parking and who's next to you. Those are big deals that we just have to kind of flesh out, and they don't have any other pictures besides this. The fact that it's built in 1977 is also a concern. We need to check out the condition of the roof, the AC units, and you know, just see how healthy the bones are for this structure. It's a plus that it's a fenced yard. That's a big plus. And it looks like they may already have a tenant in here as well. It's 75% occupied, which may be a bonus as well. You know, because it's 4,000 square feet, you can purchase this, and my client can actually just lease out the half that he needs. So he may have to kick out one tenant, but the great news is he'll have an income producing property, and I really like that. So I think this is worth a look. As unattractive as it may be, money is very pretty to me. So let's see. Yeah, this is our sweet spot here, and it's just a few miles north, so that's worth a look too. This one may not be bad either. Another income producing opportunity here. Standalone. It has 3 tenants in this building. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's some flexibility here. We need to see what the inside looks like, but this is something that there's already an insurance agency that's here, which we can either kick out or let them stay, and if they complement the business that my client has, and lease out the other side, or occupy the other side. So depending on what this looks like, the curb appeal is okay. The price point is okay for what you get here, but at 2,200 square feet of space, You know, if the whole building is 2,200 square feet, then everyone's going to have to leave for my client to take this space. But if my client wanted to just kind of ease into it, that's also another option where he can just lease half of the space here and grow into the other space when it's needed. It's worth a deeper look. This building here, I'm not hot on it because of the amount of parking. I can already tell it's going to be really tight for this. So, you know, but the price point's good at $450. Building size being 2,200 square feet. It's a medical office space. That's another concern because you know, we're going to have a lot of fixtures and stuff that we may not need, and it costs money to take that out. Don't know if that's going to be worth it, but I'll keep it on the list. This has nice curb appeal, freestanding building. When I talk to most insurance companies, this is exactly what they want, with a big sign that has their agency on it. But the curb appeal looks great. Parking looks like it's pretty flexible. It's vacant. Let's see where this is located. Now this is right on 290. So it's right on the edge of what my client wants as far as location. But because of the curb appeal, it's a little bit larger also, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We may have room to lease out to another tenant. That may be worth a look. And let me add, when I talk about leasing out to another tenant, you know, a lot of banks will allow you to get financing where you can occupy about 50% of the building, and you have another 50% that you can lease out to someone else. I mean, that's a great opportunity to take a space, and if you're a 5,000 square foot tenant, grab a 10,000 square foot building and lease that out to 2 or 3 other tenants. And it's a great way to get an income producing property and something that you need every day. So I would definitely take advantage of the leverage that the bank allows for opportunities like that. Now, let's see, Black Hall. I've never seen this property before. 649,000, 2,500 square feet. Curb appeal looks pretty decent. As far as the location, I'm sorry about jumping the screen around. Hold on. As far as location's not bad. It's right in the area that we want to be. It was just reduced $50,000. So, and it's not restricted in this area. The only concern here is going to be parking. That's really it, and what's the inside layout looks like. Now let's go ahead and switch gears and look at Commercial Gateway. So these are the options here that I'm going to send to anybody that needs that. And Commercial Gateway works a little bit different with their structure, so I'm not going to be able to draw a nice neat little boundary line like I was able to do here. Because of the way that they work, you can only do a box. So instead of doing a box that misses stuff, we're just going to kind of click around from the same area. Now this is $1.4 million. That's 1.4. That's too expensive. This one is a possibility. 6,900 Long Point. Okay, give me a minute. Let me pull these up. Okay, let's take a look at Long Point. No, that's an industrial property, and the curb appeal is not there. It's not going to work. And I know that it says industrial on here, but you know, sometimes it's majority office, and it's okay. That's another industrial property that won't work. That's too expensive at 1.5, so that's not going to work. Yeah, that's another industrial. It's not going to work. The parking's not good enough. That doesn't have a picture, so I'm going to have to research that later. That's that same church building we saw at LoopNet. So we'll skip over that for now. Award-winning restaurant. That's $2 million. That's over our budget. Self-serve car wash. That doesn't fit the type of property use we want. Fern Consulting. We saw this on LoopNet already, so we're going to skip that. Office on Kirkwood. Let's see what this one is. Class B office space. All right, not bad. All right, so this is 650,000, a little bit more. 3,000 square feet of space. It's got a lot of parking. I think this is what we looked at on LoopNet, but this is also something that's worth taking a look. Okay, this property here, possibility, built in 1975. I may have some concern about this because of the age of the property, but it's worth a look because it fits the price point that we want. So we'll go ahead and add that to the list too. I really do like 2174 Provincial here. That has great curb appeal light. I hope if we could see more pictures, it'd be nice. But this looks really good. This is a very professional look, and I'm looking forward to getting more pictures on that to send you guys. Okay, so that's really it. I mean, Commercial Gateway is not as robust as some of the other systems, so but occasionally, as you can see, you'll find one or two things that are here that are not in the other option. So we're going to put together a report with all of this here and show all these options. And if you guys want to, just give me an email. Thanks for watching, and hope this information was helpful.